Welcome to the Engineering Emotions and Energy Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Wink. Today, got a great tip for you that'll help you avoid what you don't want and move towards what you do want. And the secret was contained in that last sentence. So we'll get to that. First, a little update on how the NSNG has been going. So I am pretty close to 100% no sugar, no grains eating. I do allow myself, I got my favorite Quest bar as a must-have snack on the go, a little treat maybe. Other than that, I'm eating some good grass-fed beef, some asparagus, some paleo-style sausages. I mean, you gotta watch out on the sausages because you're thinking like, well, I'm eating meat. Check that label. There is tons of sugar in most of your common sausage. Same thing with beef jerky. A lot of added sugars. So just because it's labeled keto, labeled paleo, whatever, you gotta check the amount of sugars. So I'm now into starting the weight loss, fat loss phase of things, and I'm doing kind of minimal amounts of weight training. So I'm actually doing this program through Mind Valley called 10X, and it really is just all about, hey, we want, with the minimal amount of time, how can you maximize your muscle gain and your improvement in fitness, which is what I'd been looking for. So I'm really enjoying that, and then sticking with the nutrition because it really is 80% what goes in the body, 20% how you move the body is what gets you the body you desire. So moving on to today's topic, which is getting what you desire and avoiding what annoys you or what you would rather have less of in life. It's a very simple languaging thing, and it really comes down to, so if you're driving, please don't imagine this, don't close your eyes, don't get really into this. Please, focus, stay on the road, eyes ahead, watch where you're going, be safe, please. Otherwise, imagine it's a long highway. There's no one else on the road. It's a straight shot. It's getting a little late. Maybe you're on your way to Vegas. You're just wanting to get there. It's just very monotonous. There's just you, the road, the yellow line to the left, the white line to the right, and then utility pole, utility pole, utility pole. Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. It's very rhythmic, very calming. Da-dum, da-dum, utility pole. Da-dum, da-dum. Left yellow line, right white line. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Then all of a sudden, your eyes wake up and you notice, holy crap, I'm starting to head off the side of the road. There's that utility pole. Don't hit the utility pole. Don't hit the utility pole. Ah, shit, you hit the utility pole. Luckily, you had slowed down. Everyone's fine. Yet, unfortunately, that more often than not is not the case. And 10% of vehicle fatalities are a single vehicle going off the highway and hitting a utility pole or a tree. And it's one of those things that statistically, if we're just talking random cars being tossed at, random utility poles and trees, there's no way it should be that high, because we're talking like, what? It's like maybe a 8-inch in diameter utility pole, 1 foot in diameter tree. And often they're spaced very far apart, so more than, it's not like tree and then, 10 feet and then tree, 10 feet. Maybe I don't know, maybe with the trees, but the utility poles for sure. So how is it that there's such a high proportion of people hitting utility poles and trees that it causes this horrifying statistic? And the answer is the mind does not process negatives. So even though mentally going, don't hit the pole, don't hit the tree, don't hit it, don't hit it, don't hit it, what does the mind visualize? What does the mind see? Continuously sees hitting the tree, hitting the utility pole, hitting the tree, hitting the utility pole. So this is why we usually get what we don't want. Because when we keep reminding ourselves what we don't want, we just see what we don't we see what we don't want repetitively over and over and over again. And what we program our mind to doing, our body eventually makes true. So the key was all in the first sentence, one of the first sentences I started this podcast with, which is avoid what you don't want and go towards what you do want. So don't say don't. Or more productively, avoid the use of the term don't. So instead of don't hit the tree, avoid the tree, stay on the road. So again, the negative language is kind of going to be like at the bottom. So, avoid the tree, avoid the pole, way better than don't hit the tree, don't hit the pole, because at least we're likely seeing going around. The next step, even better, is, well, what do you actually want? What do you want to move towards? So in this instance, you want to get back on the road. So get back on the road, get back on the road, get back on the road would be a much more helpful thing to say repetitively than avoid the tree, which is still way more helpful than don't hit the tree. So some other examples of this in real life is something like addiction, like, with my NSNG, the no sugar, no grains. Like if I'm to say like, hey, if I was to mentally say, don't eat sugar, don't eat sugar, don't eat sugar, don't eat sugar, I'm thinking about eating sugar all the time, every time I say that. So what I say is to myself is I tell myself, sugar is not for me. I am avoiding sugars. I am eating these other foods instead. And I will, list off what are allowed foods. So it's like that it's basically like, I don't even like to say I don't eat that. It's just like, oh, that's not for me. That food is not for me. It's not a food for me. And it's been, makes it a lot easier because, again, I'm not showing myself over and over again what I don't want. I'm showing myself where to head towards. So I'm avoiding what I don't want and I'm heading towards what I do want. So a really simple, really easy tip today to help you get what you want. You want to head towards that. And instead of saying what you don't want, just simply avoid it. So thanks so much for listening. My name's Justin. Find us at emotionsengineering.com, at Emotions Engineering on Facebook. You can also find us on LinkedIn. Remember to subscribe on iTunes, give us a good rating. Let me know what else you'd like to hear from us, because we are here to have some fun and make our lives even better than they already are. So that's it, and good day.